Firstly, I would like to express my greetings to young students. I usually is describing generation of 20th century and the generation of 21st century. So I belong to the generation of 20th century. So now gradually ending. You are a generation of 21st century. So 21st century at the beginning. So if the generation of 21st century, if you make effort with vision, with optimism, you will see better future, better world, more peaceful, more compassionate world. So sometimes I jokingly telling people, say, the generation, my generation, 20th century, I think we create a lot of problem on this planet. So in order to do more work, this 21st century generation. If the world truly peaceful, then I think you may remain relaxed. So world really troublesome. So therefore, you have sort of more responsibility, more work, to change that kind of situation. So I really feel very happy seeing the young human brothers, sisters, and sort of very fresh. So those young students, you see, your mind not yet spoiled. Now, you see, you are really hopeful. You have the real sort of opportunity to change the world. Not by force, but by awareness through education. Basically, 7 billion human beings from birth, basic nature is more compassionate. That's now scientists say. So, since our basic nature is more compassionate, therefore there is real hope. If our basic nature is anger, then not much hope. So, 그러셔요. 그냥 그러셔요. 쓰셔요. 조상 보고 그래요.
인사 보고 네 호스텔 나오라 보고 자다 계속 호스텔 치러라 보고 자다 납치서 제주행 동시 숨겨만 선생님이 있어요. 아니 이게 호스텔 보고 되게 consumer 이게 secular ethics 게 디 로브준 디 로니스 제어에 secular ethics 로브준 제베 제라는 그런서 이 그렇게 매제 나오는 조식심 피해대 조직다 한 나가는 시기 consumer 뭐 치러라다 지금 자갈라페 나올마 페리아다 로브를 디지야지 language 식심도 디 그런서 presentation 지기서도 나
Very good. 그래서 당국 심사 그네요, 버저래. 가. So these students is a very dear in my mind, because you see these children from Kasa slum, you see no hope. So this monk, he noticed some children, Kasa 괜히 garbage, or picking something. Then eventually he visited their own sort of their home, nothing, very poor. So then eventually he because of the thought to create small place, these children, you see, firstly some food like that, then gradually some sort of education. Then we helped my Dalai Lama Trust, help to build the hostel or these things. Now, how many years passed now? No, 14 years. Yes.
Hello everyone. I want to brief Your Holiness and everyone about the secular ethics program. As His Holiness told you that these children come from very poor background. They come from the slum area. Now they are educated and some of them are in junior classes and some of them have reached college. So our program in the hostel is a holistic program. And there are different dimensions in the holistic program. We not only concentrate on educating them and making them academically sound, but we also think that it is our responsibility and we are committed to make them good human beings. We produce good human beings. That's what our main objective is. So one dimension of it is ethical education. But since children from the hostel come from different backgrounds, some of them are Muslims, some of them are Christians, some of them are Hindus, while we were trying to teach them about ethical education, we sort of came across this challenge that we cannot put one ethics over other. We can't tell that this ethics is better and this is supposed to be done, this is not supposed to be done, because every child has his own faith. We don't want to change that faith. So we had this challenge as to how to tell children something which is common to all humanity, and that's how we came across secular ethics. Now, secular ethics as a concept, if you're aware of, is a concept which is not very closely related to religion. It does not sprout out of religion. Ethics is not concentrated with religion. It is ethics for everybody, for the entire mankind, for the beneficial of entire mankind. And there are various competencies. So we started teaching our children about these competencies, but our program is not just about teaching or taking classes. We had different ways to involve children in this. For little children, we had activities where they were talking about and there were stories shared about appreciating kindness and other competencies. And the senior children were involved in doing something which they like, which gives them space for their own creativity. So first they started by painting panels. They got into groups and they discussed and they painted panels, which panels are put across in our hostel, Tong-Len. But now our project has taken like a preliminary level, and the secular ethics project has two dimensions. The first dimension is called the Secular Ethics Yatra, which is an educative and an interactive program. So the children get together and they go to schools where they have these interaction classes with dance and songs so that the children are involved, and all the new children in the schools can learn about secular ethics and then they can spread the message. This is the first dimension, which is an educative and interactive program. The second dimension is marketing social values, where we are taking the step to actually promote secular ethics, the competencies of secular ethics. Now we've used the word marketing not because it's selling a product or anything, but because marketing appeals to the young and marketing has a big ambit, you can get more people involved in it. So marketing social values is a project where marketing.
I want to explain. So when we use the word secular, according to Indian understanding, India's constitution itself is based on secular concept. So secular means, since it's in this country, a multi-religious nation. So therefore, according to Indian understanding, secular means respect all religions. In the West, secular, sometimes get the impression, the word secular, sometimes people feel disrespect to religion. I think during French Revolution and Russian Bolshevik Revolution, then secular means something anti-religion. But actually, I make distinction. What is the real meaning of religion? It's compassion. No one against compassion. Dogs, cats, they also love, appreciate love, compassion. I think actually during revolution period, France, Russia, I think atheism means against religious institution. Because many religious institution is actually helping the ruling class to exploit poor people. So that's quite right to against that kind of institution. So religious institution. That does not mean against religion. But in any way, according to Indian understanding, secular means respect all religion and then also respect non-believer. That is something quite unique. So that's very relevant to today's world. I think out of 7 billion human beings, around 1 billion non-believer. So these non-believer also part of humanity, our brothers, sisters. So therefore, I think Indian understanding, secular, respect all religion, and also respect non-believer. That's, I think, very relevant to today's world. Yes?
Absolutely, like His Holiness mentioned, and it is also mentioned in the Indian Constitution. That's how our Constitution works. By using the word secular, our Constitution is supposed to be secular, respect to all religions and also non-believers. So coming back to marketing social values, exactly because the vision of His Holiness, we want to like spread and share it with all the people because it is relevant in today's society and it will be relevant for the coming generations also. So the marketing social values project, we have right now decided to paint some panels and display boards, because if you go around, if you go in public places, you see so many things telling you to buy Coca-Cola, buy the new mobile phone, do this. We just want to make that attempt to say, how about be kind, be compassionate, amongst the hordes of so many things trying to say. We want to make an attempt to tell people to just have some social values and, make use of ethics in your life. So that's our project for now on. And also, it's not just the project, it's not just the vision that we sat together and we decided to spread the message of secular ethics. This all comes out from all these children, because these children have suffered in their real lives and they made use of secular ethics. We've been teaching secular ethics since 2015. So now I want to ask these students to share how they made use of secular ethics in their real life situations and made use of it. So I'll pass on the mic to Nisha first. Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Guruji. My name is Nisha, and now I'm...
Not true because of afternoon.
Good. Sorry, Guruji. Good morning.
Good morning, still. Okay. I think, see, you, sorry, wait so long. So you felt now already the afternoon. Yes.
So I am doing study in Bangalore in Christ University. In 2015, that was my first year in Christ University, as Christ University is very professional and very rich students are there and they are very intelligent. So my first day in Christ University was really challenging. So I just cried a lot because of I don't have language. My English is very weak. And in Christ, all students and teachers are speaking in English only. All lectures are also held in English, and also they are very rich. And it was very challenging for me to sit with them, to talk with them, and I cried, and I asked Guruji, like, I can't do study here because I think it's not for me, and it's really challenging, and they are very rich people and they are very big for me. And I was about to leave my university, I was about to leave my studies. Then Tong-Len recommended me to practice about secular ethics. And my favorite, I like self-acceptance and courage. I studied about that a lot, and then I accepted the challenge, and that gave me courage. And now I am very much confident, and I have confidence now, and I am able to speak in front of them, and also I am able to speak in front of on the stage in front of all that students. Like, I got courage and I accepted the challenge, and I think we all should practice secular ethics seriously. It has changed my life. I was about to leave my studies, but thank you, Guruji.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Guruji, myself Pinky, and I recently passed my plus 2 class in medical stream, and I want to be a doctor. But as we are very much inspired by your vision on secular ethics, and I really like and love to learn secular ethics because it really changed my life. And as we are learning in Tong-Len Hostel about secular ethics on 10 competencies, and my favorite one is discernment. And sometimes before learning the secular ethics, sometimes some people telling me something abuse language, or they gossiping me, and I really get demoralized, and I frustrated, and I can't do anything at that time when they are gossiping me, and it's really difficult for me to deal the situation and for the judgment. But after learning the discernment, I really am always trying to understand the situation, and I'm always trying to make the good decisions according to the reality, and it helps me a lot to making the good decisions. And I thought that it is really important to learn secular ethics because it changed our life. It is not like a study on books or like academic study, but it is the study of mind and heart. So it is very important in our daily life because it very relevant to change our future, or it helps me more to make good decisions according to reality. So thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you, thank you. Wonderful.
Your Holiness, today I want to speak about empathic concern. So as we have suffered a lot from different situations like poverty, discriminations, and various situations. So we are poor. We are from poor background. So we have suffered from various situations. So as we have suffered, so we don't want to suffer like society and people as we have suffered. So I think we are learning empathic concern in secular ethics. So I think it's important to guide the people about secular ethics, that how it's important to us. I think we can make the society harmonious and peaceful. So we just want to help the people with this. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Your Holiness, myself Vijay, and I am doing BCom in Kangra College, and today as we are learning secular ethics in our hostel, and today my favorite is appreciating kindness, because before I come to Tong-Len, I have faced many difficulties, lots of difficulties, and even sometimes I used to go begging, and sometimes my mother asked me to go there, and I have never thought that I have such kind of opportunity to go in school or college. And because kindness changed my life, initial stage I have most anger on those peoples who told me like that, but now I want to do more kind on them. Thank you for your vision.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Your Holiness, my name is Hinata. I come from Brazil. I didn't grow up in the slums, but I came from a very simple background. I was the first one in my family to go to university. Nowadays I work for a company that is called Bain. We're one of the biggest strategy consultants in the world. It's an American company. We draw strategies for several companies throughout everything. And I just joined Tong-Len 3 days ago. I know how our Guruji and the entire Tong-Len family to do their 2-year plan as if they were a big enterprise to not only take out all those children from the poverty trap through education, as my family did to us, but also to make them better human beings and spread the secular ethics. Thank you.
Thank you. Really wonderful. It's a part of Kasota, materializing is my sort of vision, my hope. This is just the beginning.
Your Holiness, we also would like to present you a leaf which is also the logo of the website we have created and the Facebook page, so that more people can get involved and we can spread the message of secular ethics.
We would like to go. Oh yeah. 이제
So this is our website, marketing social values. Through this website we are promoting
Very good.
secular ethics.
Very good. Thank you.
We use this leaf because it's a symbol of love and compassion. It's also more economic.
Thank you. So now, 그러다 14, 15 years. This is now, no matter how small, but one example. Ethics without religious belief, not relying on religious belief, simply use basic human nature and our own experience. They say, when no matter whether we know or not, someone is met and smiling, feel happy. Even an old friend like that, we don't feel happy, isn't it? So I think sometimes you see, human mind, I think too much sophisticated. I think animal may be more honest. So the cat, dogs, if you treat them sincerely, with affection, they appreciate. So the kindness or loving kindness, so all living sentient being, generally, I think all living sentient being are the common experience. Everybody loves that. Now, as I think they love the modern education, right? Existing modern education, only, you see, materialistic oriented. So not much talk about our inner value. When about inner value, such as love, compassion, forgiveness, these things happen, then we usually, you see, relying on religious faith. Then religion, I think, generally speaking, you see, I think religion generally, you see, very much, also they combined with faith. Faith means without much reason. Now, Buddhist sort of also the way of thinking, particularly Nalanda tradition, every point, you see, we analyze and try to find reasons whether there is negative, whether there is because of the contradictory reason or not. Always analyze. So, a certain faith or conviction entirely based on the analyzed research. So that is something quite unique in the Nalanda tradition. Buddha also, so Nalanda tradition. Therefore, so that's something different. Otherwise, Buddha himself, you see, telling us, "Oh, my follower, monks, scholars should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." So that is something quite exception. Otherwise, I think faith usually there is not much reason. So now we need, you see, the teaching or make awareness about inner value, not relying on religion, but simply scientific findings and our own experience, our common sense, we can explain. So since now I think more than 20 years, you see, we are trying to find ways to promotion about our inner value through education, not through teaching, but through education, through awareness. So we use the word secular ethics through secular way. So now already some result, some example. So I really appreciate. This is my dear son. Oh, this is my institution. You really done very well. Thank you. Now you market so with your own experience, now trying to share more people. It's wonderful, really wonderful. Now I have, you seen, a few commitment. Number one commitment, I consider myself as another human being. I am one of the 7 billion human beings. So we are social animal. The future of human happiness is everybody's interest. And Western nations' future depend on East. Easterns depend on West. Similarly, South and North. So now, national differences not much sort of relevant. We must think about humanity. If we truly consider the other people, or human brothers, sisters, then no basis of killing each other, bully each other, or violence. So therefore, now we, so therefore, now time come, we need the promotion of sense of oneness of humanity. That's my number one commitment. Sense of oneness of human being, humanity. Then automatically sense of concern of their well-being automatically come. Then my second commitment is I am Buddhist. In this country, in India, religious harmony, I think wonderful there. Some problem here and there, occasionally, that's understandable. But overall picture, I think India is the only nation where all major world religious traditions live together. So it is possible to develop religious harmony. So my second commitment is try to promotion of religious harmony, especially now these days, and the very source of compassion, various religion, is that now causing anger, killing, division. Very sad, very sad. Now look in Arab or in different places. Really, very sad. So, it is not time just Kasoda remain with indifferent way. Indifference. No, it is moral. Now we must be active. Try to reduce this violence, particularly in the name of religion. So that's my second commitment. Now third commitment, now of course I'm Tibetan. So regarding Tibet issue, political responsibility, now we already have elected political leadership. He carried this responsibility. Since 2011, I totally retired. Since then, not only myself retired, but also 4-century-old Dalai Lama institution. Traditionally become head of both temporal and spirituality. Now that I formally, voluntarily, proudly cease. Even now, the Dalai Lama institution remain for another century. Then, you see, the future Dalai Lama, see, no opportunity to use the Dalai Lama institution and exploiting other. So sometimes I jokingly say, telling people, since the sort of dual responsibility, religion and spirituality, temporal, since 5th Dalai Lama is in this sort of tradition started. So I suppose 14th Dalai Lama. So if 5th Dalai Lama reappear, I mean, what he going to say? But then I use my common sense. Now no possibility to reappear. So I have the freedom to decide. So now another also regarding Tibet, the preservation of Tibetan ecology. Now, for example, India, Brahmaputra, and Kasati, Indus River, all these major rivers, the original source from Tibet. So, India also have certain right to show your concern of pure water inside Tibet, pure ecology, clean water, like that. And then Tibetan tradition, Tibetan knowledge. So Tibetan Buddhist tradition actually come from India. So I always describe you, Indian, historically our guru, our teacher. We are chela, the students. Now, fortunate or unfortunate, now chela have much knowledge, guru not much. I think we Tibetan, through generations, I think over 1,000 years, what we learned from Indian masters, we kept these not in temple, but study, at least 20, 30 years study. Me also, say, in ceremony, I put on high throne. But when study come, my tutor occasionally threat me because I was quite a lazy student. But so therefore, since I think my age, about 8 or 7, 8 years old, already started memorize some of these text, which mainly root text wrote by Indian master. So our way is memorize these root texts. All these root texts come from India. And then some commentary, some wrote by Indian, and then later many Tibetan scholars wrote commentary. So then we learn these things. And then in order to study, we extensively use logic. So someone say something, and immediately we try to raise gedu, questions, contradictions like that. So this is very helpful to sharpening our mind, really. So now, my latest commitment is trying to revive ancient your knowledge in this country. India, I think, can do combination of knowledge, mind, through that way, so the richer inner value, and with modern education, that help us material development and technology, these things. So combination, material development, modern thing, modernization, provide us physical comfort, not mental comfort. I think you experience, say, very millionaire or billionaire. I also found some occasion, very rich person, quite sure, you see, millionaire. But when we sat and some sort of formal sort of talk, then I found very rich, very educated, and some are the chancellor of big university. But when we talk, I found very unhappy person. So their education failed bring inner peace. Their money failed to bring inner peace. More anxiety, too much stress. So, in inner value, inner peace is concerned, ancient Indian knowledge, have the ability to bring inner peace, not through prayer, not through faith, but full of knowledge about the system of our emotion and how to tackle these emotions. So that's, your tradition. So you, Indian, can combine modern value and the ancient value combined, so that people get physical well-being, similarly mental well-being. So that's my third commitment, right? So you can help me in that respect, please. Nowadays, whenever I have the opportunity talking with Indian friends, some scholars, some government officials, some scholars, or some the universities, say I'm now talking, you see, these things. So response from public, very, very encouraging, so hopeful. So please, you also part of that work, that task, please. Thank you. With the moral ethics, or secular ethics, this eventually, you see, with this sort of awareness, from kindergarten level up to university level, then India's these existing corruptions and huge gap, rich and poor, and caste sort of divisions, these certainly can reduce. So these, through awareness, through education, then I think there are really possibility to create genuine, equal, happy society. And with this respect, with this connection, I also, you see, one of admirer of European Union, not talking about my nation, my nationality, but think about Europe. So I'm very, very sort of happy the French election. I think people choose the right person. Like that. So now some questions.
도시나 취향이 미기 동네의 루루다 동네 소금에 되니 secular ethics 그런 전 발로 좀 돼야 냠돌라 치료 자가 로드 보고라 보고 동다 정화 쓰실마 차시 땡네 로디 나라만 돼야 직제 니베들한테 마케팅 소셜 밸류디 군적이 레디티 나로라 미 붐직 저지 로디 나로 차시 땡네 뭐디 가세가 고도베야스야 다 잡라 나버스 카마르도 이니 다 군적이 식디다 잡라 나버스 표시 제시하는 이내기다 뭐 고도베야는 베야이 나물시네 constitution then the secular ethics and the lamdana madalang and shingdini samalo tojina shayilo
hindi tuche hindi
the pemisi kasigya lobu kranzegi mizi nanglol tan jagajizo nanglol shivi goyaji tan shivi ne de jojiresha tisundang zangone that shingdini tojina shayilo
ka
shingdini
yedi tuche thing on the language Some question this side, on this side?
Your Holiness, actually I want to clear my concept as we all are thinking that appreciating kindness, first competency on secular ethics. So we thought that we should appreciate the kindness who kind to us. But the main goal of the appreciating kindness is recognize appreciating kindness over cruelty. So can you clear my concept? What is right? We should appreciate kindness over cruelty, or appreciate kindness for them who kind to us? Cruelty.
Cruelty. Sit down. Is firstly analyze. I think the cruelty, not just action, but motivation. So where there is compassionate motivation, the cruelty.
There's no chance for cruelty.
So now think: is it cruelty, hatred, anger, or suspicion? So now we have to sort of analyze the mental level, emotional level. What is the value of anger or hatred? No value. Even physical health is very bad. Now scientists, medical scientists say the constant anger, constant hatred, fear is actually eating our immune system. I think, do you ever have some experience when you visit the hospital or seek some advice from doctor? Any doctor is telling you, oh, you should have more anger, then your illness reduces.
Have you ever met such doctor who advises this way?
I think doctor always say, rest, calm. But doctor do not know how to bring calmness. That's now the Buddhist psychology, ancient Indian psychology. Now today, Buddhism, I think at least we Tibetan Buddhists, I think we still kept all this knowledge through rigorous study. Otherwise, in India and other Buddhist countries, not much study. So Indians they are spiritual brothers, sisters, Hindus, Jains. Also, you see now, I think very rare who really study seriously. They simply satisfy to carry some puja like that, some ritual, isn't it? So now, because of the motivation level, is analyze what's the value of anger. Once we realize anger is no use, destroy our peace of mind immediately. In the long run, all negative or expressions or word, attitude or action come. So once we have sort of full conviction, anger is bring only negative thing, unhappiness thing. Then try to look what is the opposite of anger. Then loving kindness. Then the loving kindness, what value? It brings immediately peace of mind. And through that way, your physical condition, physical health also becoming better. So then, once we develop awareness, anger is harmful, destructive, compassion, loving kindness is helpful, then that kind of the awareness itself makes differences. Once you realize anger is very harmful, then the strength, because of the intensity of anger gradually reduce. So I'm thinking cruelty or cruelty, these kind of things automatically reduce. Cruelty, firstly something happened, so then develop anger, then the traces of anger remain there. Then whenever you find opportunity, then more cruel attitude, cruelty. So all these we have to look motivation level. So actually, the ahimsa, non-violence, very much related with motivation level. You see, with very bad motivation, try to cheat other people, try to exploit other people, big smile, and a nice word, and some sort of gift. It's actually violence. Like parent or teacher You see, in order to, out of sort of sense of concern of their children, their students, you see, well-being, sometimes use harsh word. For example, my tutor, you see, some always you see keep whip to threat me. So looks violence, but motivation is sincere sense of concern of my well-being. So that's actually non-violence. The number of occasions my tutor use harsh word. So at that moment, sometimes I feel angry. Now I really realize, you see, all this is a concern for my own future, my own well-being. So then you see, instead of anger, feel appreciation. Like that. Right, next question.
Your Holiness, I have a question regarding contentment. I want to understand, in the sense, as a person, I'm not very ambitious, but sometimes I think I don't know the difference between not being too ambitious and being content, because my family or some friends tell me that you can do so much better and this, that, but I'm content with wherever I am. So I can't really understand the difference and understand contentment.
Again, now think motivation level and then result level. Result. For nation, for community, we should not practice contentment. Further development we need. Even material field. India, poor country, still we need more development. And even I think 7 million human beings, I think, I don't know precisely. Do you know the poverty? For example, America, you see, what percentage still remain under poverty? An idea? No idea. I think India, much bigger number. Poor, difficult. So we must sort of further economic development in that respect, and then further development. Firstly, you yourself, you see, make richer, and then can do more other people. Not just, you see, your luxury life, or like gambling, not like that. Yeah. So you see, make you yourself rich and then help other people. So the personal level, only personal level, and then contentment is very good practice, one very important practice. You see, otherwise, you see, you want today 100 rupees, then still feel, oh, I want 1,000 rupees, then 10,000 rupees. The 100,000 rupees you get, still you feel hungry. I want 1 million or billion, like that. So, without practice of contentment, your mind always something hungry. So that spoil your sleep, isn't it? Contented, much better, isn't it? I think the purpose, and according to the Buddhist tradition, you see, like Shantadevas, you see, advice, you see, every action we have to make, we have to judge the result or purpose and motivation. Then in certain action, generally consider negative, but with sincere motivation and reasonable purpose, then it becomes sort of or positive. We have to take action like that. Okay. So the question is Java Shasana Dirisha.
So you have to see the pros and cons of the situation.
Oh. Okay. That also is related with Buddhist sort of concept. Everything is patit samupad. everything interrelated, interconnected. So under certain circumstances, certain action is wrong. And under certain circumstances, the same action is right. There's no something independent, absolute, everything interdependent, interconnectedness. What do you think? Too much flexible? Too much? Oh. This side, any question?
Hi. How do you suggest someone overcomes a negative experience or situation?
Study can solve it. Now, you see, actually, I think ultimately related with our mental attitude. Mental attitude. Now, for example, my own case, at age 16, I lost my freedom. Age 24, I lost my own country. Since then, become stateless, and the refugee. And worst thing, inside Tibet, the very, very difficult, very dangerous situation. And now there is actually danger. Some of the narrow-minded sort of officials, they really thinking how to eliminate Tibetan unique cultural heritage, including language. So very sad, very sad. But then the one Indian master sort of advice is when you face some problem, think whether that problem can overcome or not. If there is possibility to overcome, then no worry, no need to worry. Make effort. If the situation is such, no way to overcome that suffering, then no use too much worry or sadness. So you should be practical. And then, when you face some difficulties, use your intelligence. Look from wider perspective. That's really negative or not. Each negative thing looks negative, but side effect, some positive there. So once now for example, we become refugee because of too much sort of suppression inside Tibet. Very sad. But that brings, other hand, more new opportunity. So thinking that line, then the anger, intensity of anger reduce. So the animal cannot do that. Only we human being use our brain properly. Look every event from wider perspective. That very, very helpful. Next question. Nadesh.
Your Holiness, I'm one of the co-instructors for the University of Minnesota group, and I'm doing my PhD at Emory University. For my PhD research, I'm looking at death and dying from Tibetan Buddhist and medical perspective. In my research, I've observed that for many Buddhist practitioners, death is employed as an important point of reference for meditation. Could you please explain why it is so important for those meditators?
See, reminds impermanence, including death. Does not mean just death is something important, right? Thinking death. No, other hand, you see, the habit, right, or thinking, I live 100 years or something. So then, certain sort of the facilities, right, certain sort of thing, God, or for this life, more money, including fame, and for that reason, you see exploitation, and in order to develop some bigger name or fame, sometimes telling lies or pretended like that. So all these negative things, many negative things, negative action, which is related with the concept, I remain permanently, I remain a much longer period. Like I think the king who constructed Taj Mahal, I think they consider they remain long period. And Honecker, the party chief of East Germany, he mentioned the Berlin Wall remained 100 years. So you see, some kind of the concept of permanent, I will remain for a long period. Then many negative things happen. So that's why you see thinking, life, there's limitation, and impermanent. Otherwise, you see, if you carry your life, meaningful life, and then you should think, I should live long in order to serve others. And that's why Siddhu Chadha Dua, Siddhu, right? Nga tikwa mangzi sagi yin Siddhu Chinga jeme ba, right? Nga gyawa mangzi dugu yin Siddhu Chinga diru, right? Jazan ko midawa kome asen ko duks drain samdang jirisha. Jilada.
So meditation on impermanence and death and has to be understood within certain context of what you are going to, your purpose. So in Tibetan practice, we have the practice of longevity. Doing some practices for a long life. If you are able to do that within this understanding that you are going to serve others more than just for selfish motive, then it's good.
자자가 이 미다 동네 동 다음에 가서 송도와 준비되기 대신한 송도. 다 동네 때문에 제주 미다와 미다와 보면 이 거바 가려서는 동네와 소매하지다. 집이 쳐지는 게 되니 기지기지 지금라 줄라서 두 삼단지 지 이대 매대 즉 삼 거야지. 이 딱보 때문에 매버 즉 삼을 거요니 그 탈베게 봐 직도해서 된지 삼단이 동요 삼단. 대 다가서 동요 거 지고 말이 산지 좀데 그랬더니 지 결국 그랬다고.
So within the teaching of the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha has actually taught about the first noble, regarding the first noble truth, the four characteristics of it, which are impermanence and suffering, and then emptiness and selflessness. So with regard to the meditation on impermanence, it is for the purpose of us, for the purpose that we realize that things are not...
It is also quite sort of interesting. The impermanent, there are two levels, like death, that's grosser level of impermanence. The subtle level of impermanence, now momentarily changing, everything momentarily changing. Now, the atomic level, you see nothing remain
static,
stand still. Always moving, always moving. So that level of impermanence is the subtle level of impermanence. So the subtle level of impermanence is the basis of impermanence. Since things impermanence, those things impermanence, it shows which cause create impermanence nature. Then you see that develop understanding the everything changing is based on cause, due to cause. So then this body changing momentarily. So what is the cause of this body? And then karma. And the karma is a positive karma, negative karma, entirely depend on motivation. The clash, desire, anger, ignorance. You see, due to that, any action is bad karma, causing suffering. So this is very, very kasota related with whole kasota Buddhist, the psychology of the whole system. Right? Usually, I think in Tibetan, we are Buddhist country, very, very sort of devoted. But at public level, the knowledge about Buddhism very limited. So many of our faith is a blind faith, without knowing the whole sort of the philosophical background or system. So I always telling Tibetan should pay more attention for study. That's very important. Some scholars say Buddhism is not religion. Buddhism is science of mind. It's quite true. So therefore, 제가 먼저 좀 그들에 지 메다고 검사를 배 런던 튼들체 런던 튼들이 접종 사용하는 거예요. 그가 애들 대바디 지금 라몰 교수 산지죠. 아니 라면 가르수네 뒤 냥고랬으나 좀 되는데 코랑기 순시베데 엔 다시 시송도 좀 되는데 이 순은 봐봐 만주 라마 수인이 내 이제 생고도는 차 다시 시송고래 마도 내 레버디 진세 렉통 지송 가셔도야 성도 와 만주 라마서 대송도 와 제가 가지디 I publicly sort of mentioning in Ladakh and some area, and also when I give some teaching, see, because of popular level is our faith is blind faith. So we must, I emphasizing all Buddhists, we should be 21st century Buddhist, not blind faith. Study, analyze. Then Buddhist faith must develop. Like that. 그래서 미다보사 누이지. 그런 거 사실은 미다보사 따왔던 거요. 이네 미다 동에 동 다미시 두 군중rab기 겐시 고고시오 자능 인중 람르고 주거 인진선이 미다서 주루리도 세상던 거요마도 미다고 지고 어떤 거 지금 동시에 강한라 제자스기입니다. Next question.
Hello, Your Holiness. I'd like to first start by thanking you deeply and kindly for hosting us on behalf of everyone in my class here, for allowing us to come here to meet with you. It's truly a great honor and a great privilege to be here. So thank you so much. And my question would be is, now we're all students here, we're all looking to graduate and we're going to be entering a new world. What advice could you give us students that can help us perhaps create a positive change in this world and try and change the way things are?
Very important question. Now, as at the beginning I mentioned, you are generation of 21st century. Now, you should content it, right? You should not content existing situation. So many problems, so many killing. And sometimes the leaders also is causing problem. So this we cannot blame individual, but whole the way of thinking, way of life, whole society. And that creates our leaders' narrow-minded thinking. So therefore, now time comes, we have to work fundamental level, change, more compassionate education. So now soon, because very soon the draft about secular ethics will be available. Now we are working some draft already there. So that's the only hope. Through education, from kindergarten up to university level, the modern education something lacking. Now that modern education is something wrong, we never say that. It is very relevant, but not adequate. So now those fields which modern education not yet cover, now that in that part we must create supplementary or supplement like that. So within this year, I think with the help of some scientists and Emory University and also some Delhi, India's some organizations, some NGO, we a few occasions we discuss. Now I think within this year, I think they finalize drafting. So these are the our method. And whenever you see you live, share with your friend, from one individual, 10 human being, 100 human being, 100 human being, 100,000. That's the way. To share, to change way of thinking. So within my lifetime, I think the next 15, 20 years, I do not think I can see better world, change the world, but you can see. Later part of 20th century, 21st century, I think can be more sensible human being, more compassionate human being. I'm telling some Chinese when I met, now China need some kind of cultural revolution. The previous cultural revolution motivated by anger, hatred, so it become very destructive. Now time come under the leadership of Communist Party, with the compassionate should make compassionate society under the leadership of Communist Party. So cultural revolution with compassion. Then first day, corruption in China automatically reduce. Otherwise, it's more power, more corruption. In India also now, a lot of corruption. So these self-discipline with the conviction, honest, truthful. These related with sense of respect other, sense of the oneness of human being. Then the honest come, with honest self-discipline come. Then these wrong things automatically reduce. Punishment from outside, I think teach us cunningness. Wrongdoings, you see, but
So if you have some kind of rules and regulations are imposed on us, then we also have this intelligence and we can find ways to avoid them and to be cunning.
So recently, my visit in East India. So I think one politician from BJP, you see, he accompanied with me. So within a few days, we become very close friend. Then one day I told him, I have 9 hours sleep, and then 5 hours meditation, mainly analytical meditation. That sharpening my mind, so that I can cheat other people more easily. Then he responds, very nicely. He only 6 hours sleep. So he cannot teach, he cannot cheating other people. So our intelligence, sometimes you see the negative negative
Used negative.
you negative way. So like that. So therefore, I think honest, truthful, that very much related with less self-centered attitude and think more about others' well-being. Then your way of life become more honest, more truthful. So that brings self-discipline. Anger, attachment is part of our mind. But then awareness, self-discipline reduce. We let kasota, kada anger that the cooperate, self-discipline.
So with self-discipline, we will not let ourselves be taken astray by anger and so forth.
So thank you. Now time come, and okay, I really appreciate, and I really encouraged. Say, at least I think 2-3 decades ago, right? Sort of effort now really bring some good result. Now you should consider seed further develop. Okay.